Hey guys, it's Sam with the Blind Life. Welcome back to the channel where I help you learn how to live your best blind life. This is part 2 of my conversation with Mr. Charlie Collins, talking about his current job and previous jobs and all kinds of crazy stuff. So if you haven't seen part 1, definitely check that out. Actually, you should probably watch that first. That will be popping out on the card, the video card up in the upper right corner. I'm always backwards. And I will also put a link to that in the video description. So let's continue with part 2. A cartoon of a man sitting at a computer typing on a keyboard. The view zooms out and we see dozens of other identical men working in office cubicles. The screen goes black. The words "working blind" appear in green, typed out as if on an older style computer.
So I left the business because I wasn't helping people. Oh, you want a motorcycle? It's $9,800 back then in the 90s. And it's like, I wasn't helping people anymore. But one day I'm walking, I go, you should open a retail store to help people. Remember what helped you the most was putting your hands on equipment, getting guided, getting trained, and implementing it, using it in your life. So let's open a store like that. But I had no idea what was available for people with vision impairment. I had no idea. I only knew what my state agency showed me, the 5 or 8, 12 things they had, the little room they had. I never knew. So I came home and I did it. I opened the company, and year after year it grew, and I hired more and more blind people, low vision people, hearing impaired people. And some people used motorized chairs to get in, but I tried to hire only people with disabilities. Yeah, I discriminated. If you could see, hear, walk, everything was fine, probably not going to get a job with me. But, I always joked about that and I was public about it. And that's not the case. We needed sighted drivers and things.
Yeah.
So anyway, I won an award, and it was Employer of the Year award to the state of Connecticut. I had to go to the Capitol to receive it. Why? Because I mentored and hired so many people with disabilities and put more blind people out into the universe with the skills, the confidence, and the abilities to lead independent and happy lives. And I got bored with that company, so I sold it in 2016, which it's still going. And then I started doing all sorts of fun stuff, working inside the industry, trying to help make an impact and teaching marketing and getting out and teaching courses. But Sam, you said something at the very beginning. You said, ever since I knew you wanted to help people, you wanted to do some sort of training platform or something to help move people from where they are, stuck, or confused, or baffled, or depressed, or uncertain, to a place where they can live freed from the bondage of the mind that they've created through believing blindness is the problem. You and I know it isn't. Now, is that true every day? Not at all. I go back into that. I do, but I recognize it quicker, and I say, I'm only going to stay in this for 30 minutes, but I'm going to enjoy it for 30 minutes. And then I'm going to take out the dang tool and start doing what I need to do.
First of all, I'd like to go back to, I love that you mentioned that the fear when you were offered the job at the motorcycle dealership. I've talked about it many times. In all of us with vision loss, we have that fear, we have that self-doubt. Can we do this? Are we capable? Are we good enough? Even little things like, friends invite you out to go to a bar. Ooh, it's going to be dark. There's going to be a lot of people. Guys, I'm just going to hang out here. I appreciate it. It's that little bit of fear that stops you from doing these things. Taking these little small jumps, like going to a bar, or big jumps, big leaps, like starting a new career. And that's what it's all about, is trying to overcome that. It's not easy at all. But like you said, if you can, most of the time it ends up being very positive. And then I also want to point out, I love that you talked about also with the motorcycle dealership, how it started out as a volunteer thing. I just did an interview with someone else, and we talked a lot about volunteering as a great option to kind of get your foot into a place. It not only shows initiative, it shows motivation. It tells them what type of worker you are. Like you said, that you're going to be there every day, rain or shine. You're going to do the work. You're going to be a valuable member of that organization, even if you're not getting paid. But a lot of times, sometimes that can lead to a paid position. It did for me where I work now. I started as a volunteer. It sounds like it did for you, and it worked out really well. So that's a great recommendation.
That is very, very well said, because I say to my kids now, 24 and 22, I said, just go to work for somebody. Say, hey, I really love what you do, who you are as a company. I believe in your values, the trajectory, where you're headed, the impact you're making. I was wondering, can I come and work for you for free? And give them a week. I said it does two things. First, it shows what you said. It shows that, and you get to learn, is this the right mix for me? And I can guarantee you that there isn't a company on this planet that won't hire a person like that.
Accommodations. You mentioned earlier a CCTV and a monocular and a magnifier and a lamp and all that. I'm assuming you still use all of those. I know for a fact you do. So what other types of we've had lots of conversations about this already.
Yeah, we do.
And in fact, if you want to see one of our conversations where we talked about the moped and all of that, check out the video. I'll link it in the description down below. There's two videos. I went up to visit Charlie at his home in Connecticut, and had a great time. And
we did.
Seeing Charlie on his electric bike and talking about how we grew up. We grew up very similar with some of the things we did. But so what kind of accommodations do you use currently to get the job done, if you have to travel, that sort of thing?
The first thing is a belief, is that yes, I can. And then the next thing is that I don't leave home without it. It's a pocket magnifier, an optical magnifier, 10x. Okay, so I have something in my pocket that, and guaranteed. In my home environment, I have larger computer monitor screens. I use Windows. Windows has accessibility built into it, and it works perfectly for me. And that's how I navigate anything and everything on the computer. It reads to me and I magnify. I have proper lighting. And that means I'm not, oh, that's frustrating. Lighting is a frustrating area. But let me tell you, my garage, my closets, my kitchen, bathrooms, my office space, they're lit. and then I use I'm looking around lamps, of course desk lamps, but I don't have a slew, and I have a desktop CCTV, and I use it a couple of times a week still. Mm-hmm. Even though so much stuff, Sam, is electronic and I can just sit back and let the computer read it to me, I still sit with my XY table and read, and I might write some things, fill out a form still, send back a warranty card. Yeah, I'm sure I could do it online, but I still do so. Yeah, I am 55. I'm stuck in the old way a little still.
And that's a good point for people. Not everything is going to work out 100% for you, and you might have to try certain things here and there until you find what does work. Do you have your magnifier within reach?
I got 3 within reach.
You got your little 10X? Woohoo! You hold it up to the camera?
Yes, sir.
And I'll hold mine up.
1, 2, 3. I have 2. I have 2, Sam, because I have 2 eyes.
Nice. I got a lot of inspiration from you too, because after visiting you at your house, and you have the motion activated lights going down your stairs.
Yes.
So when you walk up to the stairs going from the second floor down, they just automatically turn on and it lights the whole stairwell up. I was like, oh, that's brilliant. I need to incorporate that into my house. And that's when I put them into my kitchen and I put them into my pantry. So when I just open the door, the pantry just lights up. So yeah, it's that's what it's all about, is learning from each other too.
Yeah, very important. But also, you yelled at me when you were here. If you don't remember, I was getting mad at the microwave. You're like, why don't you have bump outs on that? I'm like, because I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah. Guess what? I got the bump. I think of you almost every day. Because I rub up. There it is. Rub to the 5, 2, 2, back down, on. Yeah. I mean, it's so simple now.
Yeah. When people you worked with found out about your vision loss, how did they interact with you? Were they accepting of your vision impairment, things like that? I know right now you're working with Kristen, and everybody is accepting, and probably at LVI, everybody was accepting as well. What about some of those other jobs?
Never once did I bump into anybody who wasn't accepting. At the ski industry, everyone knew. In the tennis company, they all knew, I think, because they would help me. You asked, that's an important thing, because in the beginning, I was afraid. But all the people in the motorcycle shop, the parts department, the mechanic, they all knew. Not a problem in the world, because they said, this man brings something to the table. And I'm not special. I don't deserve anything. I don't entitled. But they saw I worked hard to figure out ways to be a good asset to the company. So they appreciated that.
Okay, Charlie. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you joining me and sharing your story.
Yeah, it's been a blast as usual. I love doing this stuff with you, Sam.
Me too, man. So, like I said, guys, if you haven't seen it already, check out the previous videos that I've done with Charlie. I will link those in the description as well. If you enjoyed this, you found it helpful, be sure to hit the like button. That helps out my channel. And if you want to see more in this series, the Working Blind series, I will include the playlist in the video description. This is only one in a whole slew of video interviews that I'm putting out in the month of December. So definitely check that out. Lots of great information. But that is it. Thank you so much for joining us. Sam and Charlie here with The Blind Life. We will see you next time.
Bye-bye.